Hey there, hiker friends. Welcome to Hike Life. My name is Matt O. Today we're taking a little break from our series on trekking poles, and we're going to talk about plants that contain an oil called urushiol that gets on your skin and makes you itchy. And today you will not be able to stare at my ugly, ruggedly face. However, you will have the distinct privilege of listening to my smooth and melodious voice. So, three most common plants that contain this urushiol oil are in the U.S. are poison oak, which is what you're staring at right there. So we got poison oak, poison ivy, and poison sumac. That's the three most common plants in the U.S. Might be the only plants in the U.S. I don't remember. Those are the common ones that contain urushiol. And what urushiol does is it gets in your skin, on your skin. It takes about 24 to 48 hours to react to the oils in your skin, and then you develop itchy rash, and it's an immune system type of thing. And most people, if not all people, will develop a rash. There are rumors that some people are immune to it. I'm not sure how true that is, but most everybody has a certain amount of sensitivity to it, and some people are way more sensitive to this urushiol than others are. So your best bet to not get this itchy rash is to not get the oil on your skin, and your best bet to not get the oil on your skin is to make sure you don't bump into one of these plants, and the best bet for that is to know what it looks like. So I'm going to show you what poison oak looks like, because that's what's in my area, and I'll be able to, we're going to look at this plant right here close up. I'm going to show you how it appears in its many different forms. Alright, let's get into it, guys. So here's what poison oak looks like when the leaves first start to sprout. Little tiny leaves with some pretty red. They're pretty red. This kind of maroon red, deep red, with some green going up the middle of the leaves. And they're pretty small. And then down here, as it matures a little bit, they're still got that deep maroon red with some green on it. Just the leaves are getting bigger and a little bit more developed. Now, its neighbor next to it, let's see, oops, there's my finger. That guy right there doesn't have any leaves on it at all, but it is still poison oak. It just hasn't sprouted its leaves yet. So it's pretty difficult to see poison oak or recognize it in the winter unless you know it really well. Summer, spring, way easier. So there's the baby leaves. Now with poison oak and poison ivy, there's a little rhyme that helps you remember what they look like. Leaves of three, let it be. That's the little rhyme. You can see how there's three leaves coming off of one stem here. And that's what it's going to look like from the time it's baby until it's more mature in the summer. It will always look like that until the leaves fall off. They'll have the three leaves coming off of one stem. Leaves of three, let them be. From what I understand, poison sumac has a different leaf pattern. I have never seen poison sumac, so I don't have any experience with that. That's where you're going to have to do your homework if poison sumac grows in your area. Poison ivy has the same type of pattern, but the leaves have a different shape. They're more of an ivy leaf looking shape, and that's where it gets its name. You'll have to do some homework if you have that plant in your area. Today we're talking about poison oak. Okay, so here's some poison oak that's matured a little bit farther. You can see it's very green now. A little bit of red on the edges of the leaves, but mostly green. Still pretty shiny. That shininess is that oil that gets on your skin. Sorry, got a little interruption. You can probably hear my dog breathing in the background. She's running around behind me. So you can still see they have the three leaves coming off of one stem. Classic look of poison oak, poison ivy. Just slightly different shapes of leaves. Now here, I'm trying to use my pocket knife as a pointer. You can see the buds that are there. Whoops. I'm filming between wind. It's a little breezy, so I'm trying to film between wind. So you can see the buds that are on these young poison oak plants. all up and down there. They got a little bit of white on them. I'm trying to point at them with my knife. I'm basically standing in the middle of this bush, trying not to get it. But I just wanted to show you those buds. Another way you can recognize this plant. Okay, so here's some that have matured a little bit even farther. There's no red left on them at all. They're getting broader and bigger. They're starting to take on an oak leaf appearance, which is where they get their name, poison oak. And they're still shiny, and they still have that 3 leaves on 1 stem appearance. And here's another view. These are even bigger, even broader. They're losing that shininess a little bit. And that's what tends to happen. They start to lose that shininess as they get older, and in the summer they're almost kind of a dull color. They lose most of that shininess for the most part. And here is some that have come a lot farther in their development. You can see the shininess is pretty much gone. They're really big, really broad, and they're really taking on that nice oak leaf appearance. And they still have that 3 leaves coming off of 1 stem. And there's a little cluster of them growing out of this little split in the tree branches. That's what they're gonna. This here is what they're gonna look like in the middle of the summer. All right, so this bush is all poison oak, and it is probably 15 feet by 15 feet wide and about 5 feet tall. It's all poison oak. I've seen it grow in big bushes like this. I've seen it grow in little scrubby shrubs. I've seen it grow in very tall hedgerows, 8 feet tall, 40 feet long. It takes on a lot of different forms. I've seen poison oak grow in vines up tree trunks. The vines were as big around as my thumb, growing up and around this tree trunk. So poison oak takes on a lot of different forms. It usually grows in shady wooded areas like this. As you can see, it's a nice shady wooded area. It loves shady wooded areas, but it can grow anywhere. So you just have to know what it looks like and get familiar with where it likes to grow and how it grows, and you'll be able to avoid it and won't have to deal with getting a rash. Oh, and by the way, the oil can rub off from the plant, rub off onto your clothes or onto your dog's fur, and then transfer to your skin, and next thing you know, you got this big rash and some blisters, and you're wondering where it came from. I haven't touched this stuff. It might have just brushed up against your pants, your clothes, or your dog. So be careful of where your pets are wandering through. Be careful of touching your clothes if you know you got pretty close to this plant. Just be careful. The more careful you are, the less likely you are to get it. I have yet to get poison oak or poison ivy, and I just attribute that to knowing what the plant looks like and how to avoid it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a whole bunch of pictures of poison oak that I've taken in a whole bunch of different forms on my Instagram page, Hike Life Matt O, HYKLYF Matt O. That's going to be on my Instagram page. Like 20 to 30 pictures I'll be posting. Whole bunch of different colors, shapes, sizes, just so you can take a real good look at it and study it and get to know what it looks like. And then if you have a different plant growing in your area, like poison ivy or poison stomach, you need to just do your homework, Google it, study it for a while, get to learn what it looks like, and then when you're out and about in the woods, just look for it. And the more you look for it, the more you'll find it. The more you find it, the more you'll be familiar with it and be able to avoid it. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you didn't mind staring at a plant instead of my goofy looking face this whole video. If you liked the video, give me a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button in the center if you haven't subscribed, and thank you if you already have. Go over just a little bit to the right, you'll see a little bell. Hit the little bell and you'll get a notification on my next video and all the other videos after that. And the next video we're going to do is I'm going to finish up that series on trekking poles, and I'm going to teach you how to use your trekking poles when going up and down steep terrain. So So we'll talk to you later, guys. Have a great week. Hope you're able to get outdoors and do some hiking. Be safe, have fun, and enjoy life.